Does it bother you when West countries think of Russia's plan B while refusing to pay for their gas in rubles? France and Germany, for instance, have already said that they won't accept such an approach by Kremlin. And second question is that, do you think that India has not taken a hawkish stand against Russia because of its dependence on S-400 missiles, or for that matter, Make in India products like Kalashnikovs in Uttar Pradesh, despite pressure from the Western capitals, including the US and UK, 2 days ago?
Cannot even imagine that India is taking some stance because India is under pressure. We respect, as I said earlier, the Indian concentration on its basic principles, namely that Indian foreign policy is built upon legitimate national interests of this country, of this state, and of these people. And we always try to accommodate the interest of each other. And this was the meaning of our discussion, which covered all bilateral areas of cooperation and covered, of course, international and regional issues. The situation in the region is not perfect as in any other place on earth, and we support the Indian effort to consolidate the regional countries and to promote mutually beneficial projects in the South Asia. Well, as regards using ruble and rupee in our financial trade dealings, I would recall that many years ago we started moving in our relations with India, with China, and with many other countries from using dollar and euros to more and more use of national currencies. Under these circumstances, this trend, I believe, will be intensified, which is natural and obvious. We will be ready to supply to India any goods which India wants to buy. I already referred to this. We have very good relations between the trade ministries, ministries of finance, and I have no doubt that a way would be out to bypass the artificial impediments which illegal unilateral sanctions by the West created. This relates also to the area of military technical cooperation. We have no doubt that the solution would be found, and the respective ministries are working on it. As regards Indian position on the developments in Ukraine, you called it a war, which is not true. It's a special operation which is being conducted with maximum attention to be paid not to. As regards gas supplies to Europe, my president was very elaborate. He announced the signature of a decree which provided a scheme, as far as I could understand, acceptable to the Western countries. We cannot use the old scheme because, as I say, they pay us in their currency and then they arrest our accounts. It's like gold fever in the United States at some point when the country was created by those who fled from Europe because they were wanted by law, as far as I recall. So the scheme which has been presented is an honest scheme. It allows us to get the payment eventually in rubles, and that was the original goal. Because we are friends and we regularly exchange visits. Well, for many years, as I said, when the nature of our Western partners, who are entirely unreliable, became more and more obvious and known, we started developing national payment systems. In Russia, the central bank several years ago established a system of communication of financial information. India has a similar system which is called rupee, and it is absolutely clear that more and more transactions would be done through these systems using national currencies, bypassing dollar, euro, and other currencies which proved totally unreliable.
Kremlin's top diplomat, while visiting New Delhi ahead of the meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, also spoke on fostering ties and relationship with India on these issues.
Well, the talks are characterized by the relations which we developed with India for many, many decades. The relations are strategic partnership, even especially privileged strategic partnership, as our Indian friends called it some time ago. And this was the basis on which we have been promoting our cooperation in all areas, economy, military, technical, humanitarian, investment, and many other fields. And I believe that Indian foreign policy is characterized by independence and the concentration on real national legitimate interests. The same policy basis exists in the Russian Federation, and this makes us, as big countries, good friends and old partners, an important part of the international relations. We always respect each other's interest, provide any damage to the civilian infrastructure. The military infrastructure is being targeted, and the aim is to deprive the Kiev regime from capacity to present any threat to Russia. And this capacity has been built and strengthened for many years by the United States and other NATO countries who wanted to make anti-Russia out of our neighboring and fraternal country. If India wants to buy anything from us, we are ready to discuss and to reach mutually acceptable forms of cooperation.
For more such fine stories and video reports from field, subscribe to our channel, The New Indian.